Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? It's your man C Dougie back in the building, back on Thursday night, back in the lab, out of the lab, bring you guys a new segment called That Blitz Talk. We got the gang back. A couple people are out taking care of family, taking care of business, but the gang is back, man. Our guy Quan is probably out doing Pop Warner with his kids, man. But we got AJ and we got my big brother slash big cousin CJ with us tonight, man. We're going to talk about this preview with the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Pretenders and contenders are already going into week 4. A couple of teams are underperforming. A couple of teams have overachieving. Also, we're going to talk about a little bit about the Panthers, man. I know everybody's waiting to see what I got to say here at What's Up, Doug, man. But let me go ahead and bring on the fellas, man. AJ, CJ, how you guys feeling tonight, man?
Better
What's
than the
going on?
Cowboys.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So, how are you guys so far? Tell me what you guys have think. We're heading into week 4. Week 4 literally kicks off in an hour and 15. How are you guys feeling about the season so far, just as an overall and as a whole?
Well, I feel like passing numbers are back down, like how they were last year. So defense is making a comeback, even though the league is trying to promote offense as much as possible. So I'm looking at the Chiefs to get their offense together soon, and really for all that, just to see if all the offense can get on the same page or not. Because so far it hasn't been that many high scoring games.
Yeah. I kind of like the parity that's going on. Teams that you don't expect to do good are doing good, and damn it, my Panthers look like they're trying to turn the corner. So hey,
Andy Dalton for president.
hey, right now, president, emperor, whatever.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I mean, the NFL season is in full swing. I think, as you can see on the thumbnail, we kind of have a surprise team on the left hand side, and then a team on the right hand side that is very underachieving. And if they lose tonight, it's going to be even worse here in Dallas if the Cowboys do end up losing this game, man. But before we continue, let's go ahead and shout out our sponsor at SeatGeek. Yes, SeatGeek is our partner here. If you are looking to buy concert tickets, event tickets, NFL, NBA is about to come around the corner, college football, it's in full swing, and college basketball. If you use the code What's Up Doug, you would get $20 off your first ticket price for any sporting event that you attend. Again, that is What's Up Doug. You go to SeatGeek. We have the link in the description. If you have any questions, definitely shoot me a message in the chat, or you can leave me a comment underneath the community page. Again, shout out to our sponsor, SeatGeek. So, fellas, like you said, I mean, AJ said it, like a lot of people are doing better than the Cowboys. I will say this, a lot of people are doing better than the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of people are doing better than the Miami Dolphins. There have been a lot of injuries with certain teams that have been the result of the reason why some of these teams are having not so great starts in the beginning of the year. But we do know that this is a early beginning of the season. But CJ or AJ, whichever one want to go first, how are you guys like for contenders? Like I'll throw Minnesota out there. If you guys want to talk about Minnesota, we can talk about Minnesota. But just as an early season contender that you didn't think will be there right now, how are you guys feeling about a contender in your mind, leading already making an impact on the season so far?
I'd have to say what you said about Minnesota. The way Sam Darnold is up there balling right now. I think the plan with them was to use JJ McCarthy, but another injury, be it with him, it was early on in the season. He's done for the season. But look for them to make some noise. And one who I thought was going to be a contender, but I thought one injury was going to instantly take them out. But I think they're still a contender until the man comes back. Green Bay. Jordan Love, he got hurt. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? That's it. That's a wrap. They got Malik Willis back there. I'm like, I like the kid, but don't think it's going to happen. And they're keeping it going.
Yeah. AJ, you going or you want me to jump in?
Minnesota wasn't that to see them play this good is shocking, but I always had a lot of faith in Sam Darnold. He just kept getting put into bad situations. Now he's playing with a loaded team with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and they're doing this without Jordan Addison the last 2 games and without TJ Hawkinson. But I'll say the Seahawks, man, That team is crazy. Defense is playing better with the brand new head coach. When I look at the offense, it's always been good. They got DK Metcalf, they got Smith and Jigba, and they also still got Tyler Lockett. So I'll be on the lookout for them, especially with the 49ers dealing with all the injuries that they're dealing with.
So I'm gonna throw another one out there. Let's look at the Buffalo Bills. Who would have thought, with them not having the weapons at the wide receiver position, you have Gabe Davis leaving, you have Stephon Diggs leaving. Look at what really Josh Allen and company have been able to do so far. They basically, outside of Tua getting hurt at the end of the game, they basically have 2 lopsided wins against the Miami Dolphins. And now when you just had the Jacksonville Jaguars this past week, I think Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane, that organization doesn't take a fall whenever they lose talent. They even had defensive pieces leave last year as well, or this past year as well, for example, Pryor. But again, it's early, but I do like you said Seattle. That is another team that can take advantage of the San Francisco 49ers having so many injuries. Then you look at, now they just said Christian McCaffrey also has to sit out an extra month. So we may be looking all the way to the end of maybe the year, flipping the calendar going into January until we see Christian McCaffrey. That's a good thing for them for longevity. But I know a lot of fantasy owners, they drafted him number 1. That's not a good thing.
I don't think he plays this year.
I don't think so either. They say he's got to go get a second opinion.
He did. He just came
miss
back.
Some more months.
Yep. He just came back. So
he didn't do.
Go ahead, AJ.
He didn't do much in training camp. He really didn't practice much. I think it's a big injury that they're letting on to. And they got Jordan Mason, but like you said, you drafted him in fantasy with the first pick, man. Ooh.
I did it in 2 leagues. One league, I was smart enough to draft his backup. So I'm straight in one league. And then the other one, thank God I ain't got no money in it. It's just my barber and the guys at the barber shop. So, yeah, but yeah, it's a wrap.
Hey, then I would say this too. CJ, you said something about Jordan Love. I have Jordan Love as my quarterback, and I think a couple of my fantasy and me and you talk. Jordan Love, even though it was not a stellar game, first game when they played over in Brazil, he still looked good. You saw where he can take that next step whenever he was in the playoff run with the Green Bay Packers last year. Then you look forward and bounce. Malik Willis has done a great job because they really could have went 0-2 with him starting. But I think with him coming back, I don't know. I think it's a game time decision with Minnesota. That Minnesota game is pivotal for both organizations, not in a bad way, but let's just say Minnesota goes 4-0. That is a talking point. The reason why, again, they're on the top of the thumbnail is because they are a surprise contender. Nobody thought Sam Darnold, once he left Carolina, once he left New York, he left San Francisco, he went to Minnesota. He was supposed to be a bridge quarterback for what's the boy from Michigan?
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, for McCarthy. So it's more of Sam Darnold may just needed a new situation to flourish. He has a number 1 guy in Justin Jefferson. Aaron Jones is a dynamic running back that has also taken a step as well, man. So Minnesota is really making noise, but it's loud. They're not treading softly. It's very loud.
I want to talk about that too. We got a lot of quarterbacks like Geno Smith, Justin Fields, Sam Darnold. They go to different situations and they look better. And I think that's a testament to some of these organizations playing the rookie too early, or they just don't have the pieces in place for them to succeed. Because when like you just said about Sam Darnold, went to New York, terrible coaching, no wide receivers. He showed some good with Carolina, but the offensive line went bad. He got injured. Things didn't go his way. And the same with Baker Mayfield as well. They go somewhere else. They're not the best quarterbacks in the league, but they look serviceable.
Yeah.
And that's what got. Oh, you can go ahead.
AJ, my bad. No, I was gonna say, and that's what kind of still pisses me off a little bit, because my vision for Carolina a couple years ago, keep Steve Wilkes, keep Sam Darnold around for another season at least. You had the running game going. You had DJ Moore. He had some weapons. He was moving the ball, and then build other pieces around all of that. Show up on the defense. you know, maybe like a situation, not necessarily with Mike Jackson, but you know, we could have got in another cornerback too. May have got him in a year earlier or something. But you know, build around and then be able, you know, to draft another quarterback maybe a year or two later. That was my plan. And now to see him out in Minnesota and then he's balling, I'm just sitting here like, you know what I mean? Because mind you, I'm glad we got Andy Dalton, but Dalton is about to turn 37 and Sam Darnold is how old? He's still in his 20s. Yeah.
27.
So
I mean, go ahead, AJ.
I was gonna say that too. Like when we talk about the Panthers, that might be the case of Bryce Young. Probably played him too soon. More than likely.
yeah. But you
And
know,
then,
we were
hold on, real
all
quick.
sold. Oh,
no, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you know, we all were thinking that we were a quarterback away. You know, myself included. And number one pick. What's the thing with number one picks lately? If you get picked number one, you got to put them on the field.
Yep.
We put him on the field. And now I hate to say it, and I hate it for the young man, but I think you're going to see a drastic change in that from here on out. It's like number one pick. You know what? We might go ahead and sit you for a year or so.
I think all rookies should sit, because you go from learning the program to learning the playbook in a short amount of time. Playing on college is way different than the NFL. And you don't really have an off season as a rookie. You go through the draft process, that's training. You go to rookie training camp, the real training camp, OTAs. You don't really get a rest like the veterans. So it's just full go. And they just throw you out there into the fire. You may play in the preseason, you may not, but that's completely different from live action.
Yeah. Hold on real quick. Donna B, are you talking about Christian Watson? I think that's what you were talking about. And if you guys got questions, we'll definitely get to them. You don't have to send a super chat or super sticker unless you want to, but we'll get to all the questions. But I think you're asking about Christian Watson. I want to say it's either a hammy or a growing injury that I read earlier today that he's dealing with right now.
Or were they asking about McCaffrey?
Oh, Chris. It's Achilles. His Achilles. They don't want to say it, but that's really what it is. It's really his Achilles that's definitely affected right now. So, like I said, I think he had a second opinion. He just came back from Germany, and they told him to sit an extra month. I guess he was trying to come back a little bit earlier, but they told him to sit out an extra month, man. So with the game, I think the game just went to a commercial. So with Thursday night, like I said, getting kicked off, what are you guys feeling about the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants right now before we go to Pretenders and talk about the Panthers and everything? How are you guys feeling about tonight's game? You know, what matchup are you looking forward to? How are you guys feeling about the game?
Well, I got a couple thoughts. One, can they both lose? And two, I think the biggest matchup is going to be the Cowboys defense versus the Giants offense, and whether, you know, they're going to be able to kind of get back on track, because they have been humbled the last couple weeks, first by the Saints and then last week by the Ravens. And the Ravens really took their foot off the gas, and you can see in that interview after the game, Lamar Jackson was kind of pissed, that they kind of let them come back like that. Kind of the same thing what I was talking about, Doug, at the end of the Carolina game, when I was like, there go Evero and that daggone prevent defense. I'm just like, I know we up, but don't completely take your foot off their necks and let them dink and dunk down the field 2 straight drives and score. But I think that's going to be the matchup, and I hope it is, because I played Dallas defense in my fantasy league tonight. They did me right game 1. They have been just garbage juice trash for 2 weeks in a row. So I hope they can get right against old Daniel from Duke and the boys. So, we'll see.
Yeah. We ain't even gonna look. Rod Jones in here. We ain't doing none of that.
Oh, he's a Gamecock fan. He don't care about Duke.
I don't got no time. I don't got no time for no Carolina slander right now, man.
No.
But no, AJ, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so I got a lot to say about the Ravens and blowing leads. They done did that a lot in the past. Far as tonight's matchup, I just want to see Trayvon Diggs and Malik Neighbors.
Yep.
That's what I'm ready to see, to be real with you. They've been doing a lot of talking in the offseason. Malik Neighbors was great last week against the Browns and the run defense of the Cowboys. The run defense of the Cowboys been terrible. Now, I'm pretty sure me, CJ, and Doug can get some yards against that Cowboys defense in the backfield. They cannot stop the run at all. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they can stop Singletary or not. I think the Cowboys will come out with the win. At the end of the day, it is Daniel Jones. I ain't got that much faith in Daniel Jones, to be real with you. And the last time they beat the Cowboys was in 2021. So It's not looking too good for them.
Yeah.
For me, it's more when you look at you had two of your best players go on the sideline and throw tantrums. That's CeeDee Lamb and Michael Parsons. One thing that I do think CeeDee Lamb will have his best game this far because he didn't really go through training camp. He's always exposed the New York Giants the last 2 years. And I'm talking about having over 100 yards. That chemistry, you can tell, has not been there for him and Dak. But one thing that I would say is I don't need it to happen, but I won't be surprised if they put almost triple coverage on CeeDee Lamb because what running game do the Dallas Cowboys have right now? None whatsoever.
Hey, talk about it, Doug.
None whatsoever. So again, one thing that you do is you eliminate a threat in CeeDee Lamb where if he can get loose and you look at a Ferguson, what else can you do if you're able to stop CeeDee Lamb? Ferguson gets a little bit of catches, but then you put less than 8 in the box and then you just play zone the whole time. That is one thing I need to see.
Nah,
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks or Tolbert gonna have to step up.
Well, again, they have to step up, but will they step up? That's the thing for me.
Nah, I think Brandon Cooks at this point is just a one-trick pony. If he's not running the go route, you ain't really getting much out of him.
Yeah.
You know, I had that feeling about Rashid Shaheed last week, the first time I started him on my fantasy team. And he put a big goose egg.
Yeah,
I'm so
mad.
The
Eagles play a great defense on him because he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah, but he did have 2 passes that hit right in the hand, and he dropped both of them. And I'm sitting there like, here we go again.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So I know we're talking about the Cowboys, and AJ gonna laugh because he like, Doug, I really can't believe you doing this. But we got to talk about Daniel Jones. We really do. Because
Lord have mercy.
They gave the money.
Hold on, but why?
Because this is why. They gave the money to Daniel Jones rather than giving it to Saquon Barkley. And you see what Saquon has been able to do at the Philadelphia Eagles. And even thank you for Hard Knocks showing the behind the scenes where they basically lowballed Saquon Barkley in that contract negotiation about him possibly trying to sign back. But for me, Daniel Jones has to do something this year. If it's not this year, they can't dump that contract. But if he doesn't do anything this year, more than likely they'll let him play out next year, and they're going to get a quarterback in 2026 draft. I know a lot of people are like, well, Doug, you know, you're talking about another team's quarterback. We got a quarterback issue here. I understand that. But at the same time, I will take Bryce Young over Daniel Jones. And I know people are like, are you serious? Yes, I would take Bryce Young over Daniel Jones any day. But right now, you look at it, he's basically has a wide receiver that can take it over the top and Neighbors. And the offensive line looks great, but I think where the ball falls or he fails at is his IQ as a quarterback. Daniel Jones does not have the best IQ as a quarterback.
And his accuracy.
Correct. Yeah. But I would say this name, and I have not said this name all season. I'm ready to see what Brian Burns does in prime time.
He was good last week.
Yeah. He had 8 pressures and 1 sack. You're correct. Okay. 8 pressures and 1 sack.
I really haven't heard much about him.
Since
he was traded. And I heard a couple of my neighbor is a Giants fan, and he told me the other week he was kind of done with him already. So
because he give up on plays a lot, that's why.
And then what did we say and when we were at Carolina, people were upset. You can't do that. You cannot give up, and you're supposed to have that star line. That defensive line should be more dominant what they are right now. You got 2 great edges, and you got a nose tackle that is. I think he was rated top 3 in the league as nose tackle in Dexter Lawrence. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you're getting a lot of one-on-ones right now. And what are you doing with it?
It's always been an effort issue with him, even in college.
Yeah. I agree.
It's an effort. That's it. He got all the tools to be great. It's just effort. Some plays he cares, especially on third down. If it's third and long, he does not care at all. You might as well take him off the field.
Not business decisions out there being made.
He didn't got paid. What
Jack
business
Jackson.
decision?
No, I'm talking about Antonio Pierce when he was hot with the
Yeah.
Raiders. Yeah, you know how he said there was a lot of business decisions being made on the field. You know,
Nah,
so
they just call the Panthers beating everything out of you at halftime. That's what that is.
you know, hey.
Hey, Rock Jones, look, you got one warning because I'm gonna ask you to. I'm gonna drop the link.
Like the Tar Heels.
Look, hey, I told you we're not taking no Tar Heel slander tonight, man. It's a new week.
But Doug, we gotta call it what it is, dog. We gotta call it what it is. Tar Heel football is not good this year. It's not good at all. Mm-mm.
But look, guess what? Basketball season is less than 3 weeks away, so I want all the noise.
Yeah.
You can't. USC ain't gonna do nothing, and
Yeah,
I ain't talking about girls basketball.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rock is throwing. You know what's that? What's that saying? Throwing rocks from some whatever it is. You know he's throwing all these shots at us. But my thing is South Carolina is gonna get beat up in the SEC this year. So you know it'll be all right.
He throwing rocks and hiding his hands.
There you go. That's it. Thank you, AJ. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. They got Malik Neighbors' stats up here. He has 23 receptions, 271 yards, and 3 touchdowns so far in 3 weeks. Will over or under 1 touchdown for Malik Neighbors tonight?
It's Daniel Jones, man.
Under.
So no touchdown.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'll say over. I'll give him a tutty.
I'll give him 1. I would say I'll give him 1. I'll give him 1.
Oh, I'm gonna say this too. If the Giants win tonight, they're gonna leave Mike McCarthy in New York. They're gonna take off without him.
Hey, hold on real quick. Yeah, now it's my turn. If you want to pull up, Clay, I dropped the link. You can pull up.
Hold on. His Gamecocks, I thought he was a Chanticleer.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Clay. If you want to hit the link, you can pull up. Yeah, all that noise you was talking. Yeah, and now it's my turn. I hope I hit a button too. I hope I hit a nerve. But nah, shout out to our guy Clay at the Rap Star Report, man. Like I said, I definitely appreciate the partnership him and I myself have. But yeah, Clay, like I said, if you want to pull up, my guy, you definitely can pull up. I told you pull up because you throwing shots in the chat. Pull up. Don't have them Twitter fingers right now because that's exactly what you're doing. But all right, I'm gonna throw another one. 100 yards. Over or under 100 yards for CeeDee Lamb tonight?
Over. He's gonna light that defense up. It's the Giants.
Over.
You got over too?
Over.
Okay.
Well, he going over. They can't run the football, so yeah.
I would say if y'all think of something, I'm just going off of things I'm thinking right now.
How about over under Michael Parsons sacks?
That's
say
how many you gonna
sacks?
Give? I was gonna say 2. I got over.
Yeah, 2 sacks.
I got over.
I say he get at least 2. Yep.
I'll take over.
Mm-hmm. Shoot. What about now? We talk about run games. What about Singletary from the Giants?
I give him 65 yards.
I'll take that too. Yeah, I'll take that.
Now this is I'm being petty. Combined, Dallas Cowboys will have over 100 yards rushing.
Hell no.
Under. I'm going under. I'm going under.
Hey, Ezekiel Elliott got granddad knees. Ain't nobody worried about that.
Okay.
Oh, hey Doug, here's one more. Okay. Over under the Cowboys defense having a defensive touchdown. You think Daniel Jones gonna give them a gift so they can return to the chop?
But they ain't got Deron Bland. So
that other corner is suspect.
Oh,
that other corner is trash.
He out this game though. Carson, he out this game.
He is trash. They need to just go ahead and just leave him.
He a rookie though.
No more.
Gotcha.
He a rookie. They got Trayvon Diggs. Now I don't think they get a defensive touchdown this game.
Now I would say this: over or under 1 interception for Daniel Jones.
Oh, over.
Oh, he gonna throw at least 2-3.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope so.
All All right, we're gonna come back to the game because I at least want to get a score prediction from you guys. So let's talk about pretenders.
Okay.
Let's talk about Dallas. AJ and myself both live out here in Dallas, man. When I say when the Dallas Cowboys are not winning, it's like a ghost town in Dallas. Like people are already pulling flags down. People don't want to talk about them. You're not seeing those jerseys out there. Like for me, I think I don't like Mike McCarthy. I don't like Mike McCarthy. I don't like Nick Sirianni. That's two coaches I think need to be fired. I think it's past their time and you go to a new destination. It's not Mike McCarthy's fault though, right now, because what's the D coordinator name again? AJ
Mike Zimmer.
Zimmer should not be coaching anymore. And I agree with Rex Ryan in this one point, not on his point about the Carolina Panthers, but on he should have been a defensive coordinator. I do like Rex Ryan's defensive scheme. Zimmer's defensive scheme is not doing anything, and it makes the Dallas Cowboys look worse than what they're actually supposed to be, and it exposes more holes. Because if you really look at this defense is the exact defense that Dan Quinn had last year. Nothing has really changed. Yeah, you might have Bland out, but you replace Bland with Diggs. What is there to show it? This defense is not able to execute and look to par like they're supposed to look. So for me, I do think the Dallas Cowboys have a big P for pretender on their name right now because of based off their defensive side of the ball. I will give the offensive side time because, CeeDee Lamb did miss. But whenever you're able to shut down CeeDee Lamb, what is the offensive running back room going to be able to do? So I will say the Dallas Cowboys have a lot of answers that need to be answered tonight and going throughout the rest of the season as well.
Jerry Jones need to fire himself first. That's what needs to happen.
Won't happen.
You gave Dak all of this money, highest paid player in the NFL. You gave CeeDee Lamb all of this money. Now you say he missed training camp. I don't care if you missed the entire training camp. I expect you to go out there and perform week one beyond because of what the Cowboys paid you. And the same with Dak. Dak has to be better as well.
Max.
Now, the run game, it's bad. That's on Jerry Jones. But, I mean, what do you expect? They brought back Ezekiel Elliott. Let's just be real. He's a fan favorite. That's what it is.
Facts.
Coaches don't believe in Zeke like that. Look at him last year for the Patriots. He's just a third down back. Rico, he's decent at best. Deuce Vaughn is too little. The only reason they drafted him is because his dad works in the front office.
Yep, we said that.
That's it. He doesn't have the speed. He's not breaking no tackles. So now you just have an offense, like you said. You got Jake Ferguson, solid tight end. CeeDee Lamb, one of the best receivers in the league, and Dak Prescott. Brandon Cooks, like I said earlier, I just don't see it no more. In the past, he was good. I think he's a number 3 at best. Jalen Tolbert, he could be a solid number 2. You have Turpin as well. I think he's more of a return guy. But they've been a pretender even since Romo days. I mean, ain't nothing really changed. They can't stop the run.
Regular season champs, that's what I call them.
Yeah, their secondary, their secondary gets exposed in the playoffs too. Trayvon Diggs, DeRon Bland, they're good cornerbacks, but look at what happens when they go against talent like DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
What happens when you go against a team like the 49ers? The secondary gets exposed too. So they can't stop the run, they can't stop play action, and they can't stop the pass against elite level quarterbacks. And you only have one pass rusher because at this stage of the game, DeMarcus Lawrence is just a run stopper. You double team Michael Parsons, you can't generate pressure. So that defense is really one of the worst defenses in the league. And it's been like this for the last 5 to 6 years. Regular season, they're straight. They play fast. They go against a physical team. You see what happens. Now, when they play the Eagles, I can easily see Saquon getting 2 to 3 touchdowns in that game. So Jerry Jones has fired coach after coach. At the end of the day, it's on him.
So real quick before you go, CJ, AJ, what do you think about this? And CJ, you can answer this question too. Do you guys think Dalvin Cook should get more touches?
At this point, might as well.
Okay.
Is he off the practice squad? Is he on the 53?
Yeah, he's on the 53.
He's on the 53.
Shoot. Hey,
might as well.
If he was in shape, I'd put his ass in the starting lineup.
He's better. He has more juice than Zeke at this point.
Yeah. Yep. So is that one of your pretenders, AJ, or you have another pretender?
They're a pretender, and if I look at the NFC,
It can do AFC too. You don't have to be just NFC.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the AFC. And AFC, the Bills are good.
I'll put one out there. The Bengals. And I already know.
Damn,
They
stole
only
mine,
3.
Doug.
No, hold on. Don't say it then, AJ. I'm gonna hear what CJ got to say.
Okay.
Don't use the Bengals then.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say. Oh, no, go ahead, AJ. My bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Ravens. Back to my point that I made a couple minutes ago.
You said
They
Raiders
always-
or Ravens?
Ravens.
Okay, go ahead.
They always blowing leads, and the defense is not the same like how it was last year. They had the Cowboys down 28-6. They was about to blow the lead. They blew a lead against the Raiders last week. And Lamar Jackson doesn't look the same inside the pocket. Look at what happened week 1 against the Chiefs. And that's the Chiefs team that is struggling.
Yep.
And the pass rush isn't the same either. And when you look at the division, the Steelers right now, their pass rush is good. Justin Fields has a new leash on life, and their run game is taking over. When you look at the Ravens, the run game is good with Derrick Henry, but for whatever reason, they want to make Lamar Jackson the prime Peyton Manning. When it comes in big moments, they want to make him go throw the football 30 or 35 times in the game. That's not a winning formula. They have good weapons. I don't think it's going to be consistent. And I see them splitting at least with every team in their division, except for the Browns.
CJ, go ahead. How are you feeling about the Bengals?
I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna say somebody I thought a team I thought was gonna be better than they are. The Jaguars. Everybody thought Trevor Lawrence. Rounding in the form. He's going into what? This is his 3rd year, if I'm not mistaken, 3rd or 4th year. I forget.
This is 4th.
Yeah.
This is 4th.
Yeah. Now, mind you, they lose Calvin Ridley. He went to Tennessee, but you bring in Gabe Davis. But then what's my man name? Was it Zay Jones that got suspended for the first couple games of the season? You look at the defense. You thought the defense was going to be better, but they're sitting with a big goose egg at 0-3 now. And I know people, especially after if I'm not mistaken, Trevor Lawrence, he got his contract, didn't he? Didn't he get his money?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Second highest paid.
Yep. Okay, and you get that money and you start the season out like this. I know, Jacksonville fan base is probably, kind of how the Panthers fan base is right now, it was for the first 2 games. We got a little something to set up for now, but they're still sitting at a goose egg, and I think a lot of people thought that they would be better than they are now.
Yeah,
I'll say this too: the Dolphins are one.
Darn, you took.
Yeah.
I was gonna name the team. I was gonna put the Dolphins, the 49ers, and who else has an injury bug bad right now?
But Doug, before you go, but the Dolphins, even before the injury bug hit them like that, were they really that great?
It's the coach. You want to know something? Everybody can talk about Dave Canales. I love McDaniel's swag, but it's almost like Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's getting all these coaching offers. He was getting, he was supposed to be this next great coach. He decided to stay to learn more underneath Dan Campbell, where I think McDaniel should have stayed more underneath Kyle Shanahan and molded himself to be ready to be the head coach. Not saying he's a bad coach, but you can tell there's tendencies where he's not seasoned enough of being a good coach. And that's what's hurting them right now. Because again, one thing that I can say with our Panthers, we may not have everything that we need, and we know we don't, but look, we follow our coach. Dave Canales is a great leader, and we've seen that with everything that we've had him go through already in 3 weeks. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it's more of coaching means a lot. And with the Miami Dolphins, I think it's coaching. Go ahead, AJ.
I'll say this. It is, but at the same time, it's not. And Dolphin fans about to hate that I say this. If they went with Justin Herbert with those weapons they have now, easily, that team will give Mahomes hell every single year. I think it's more so the quarterback than it is the coach. And I'm not trying to be like
it goes hand in hand, like you said. It's hand in hand. I'll give you that.
And I'm not trying to be like that because Tua's dealing with his own injuries now. Even before the injuries, they weren't looking that hot against the Jaguars. They beat them by 3 points. And like CJ just said, the Jaguars look terrible. the Jaguars don't look good. I don't know why they paid Tua all that money. I think the general manager gets fired because you gave an injury-prone quarterback all of this money for one.
Mm-hmm.
He's already limited with what he can do on the field. He can't move around like a top quarterback in the NFL. He doesn't have the strongest arm, and he is inaccurate too. We saw that in the Bills game before he got injured. So I think it's more so the quarterback than it is the coach. And I do feel like this as well for the Dolphins moving forward. They're going to be in a tricky situation regardless. Because I don't even think they'll be bad enough to get a quarterback in this year's draft class if Tua comes back. But they know that Tua is not their guy long term.
Well, if they keep losing quarterbacks, they might. Well, they down to who's their quarterback?
Thompson.
No, because Skylar Thompson got knocked out last week.
It's Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley. That's it. Yeah. I knew it was a black quarterback. I couldn't think his name.
So I'm gonna say this though. So we use that. Do you put an asterisk by the San Francisco 49ers because of all their injuries right now? Or no, they're supposed to be this great powerhouse underneath Kyle Shanahan.
I think they'll still be good. I think they lost last game due to dumb coaching decisions by Shanahan. He got too cute. They still have Brandon Ayuk who needs to play better. As long as Shanahan has Brock Purdy and a good offensive line.
But Brock Purdy has a bad back, AJ. That's the reason why I'm bringing that up.
Yeah, but he's day-to-day. And as long as the offensive line can protect him, they'll be okay. Because for whatever reason, it don't matter who the running back is in that system. They always go off.
That's what I was going to say, because my man Mason got in that first game and didn't miss a beat. And I don't think he's really fallen off. He's not Christian McCaffrey, but I know for me, I watch the 49ers, but I don't really like watch him per se. I kind of keep track of him, but he looks good. He looks good enough for them to be able to compete, and hopefully in Shanahan's offense, even if Brock Purdy was to get hurt, I don't know who his backup is, but maybe their offense is good enough for whoever's behind them to come in and succeed too. Hopefully not long term.
Isn't it Dobbs?
Yeah,
I thought it was Dobbs. So go ahead, AJ.
My thing is this: they still have an Ayuk. Debo comes back in a couple weeks. George Kittle should be okay. Offensively, they should be good. Now, defensively, they got a lot of problems because Hargrave is out for the rest of the season. That's been a terrible free agency signing, by the way. He has not lived up to his expectations. Nick Bosa hasn't been that dominant defensive end since they gave him his money either. Then you also look on the other side. Who's the linebacker that's still hurt from the Super Bowl?
Fred Greenlaw.
Greenlaw. And it's not a guarantee that he's going to be the same coming off a torn Achilles.
Isn't that the one that he did it running onto the field?
Yep. Super Bowl running onto the field.
Yeah, sprinting onto the field. So
I'm gonna throw a name out. I'm gonna throw a name and a team out. And if my brother is watching, I already know he's gonna be like, "Oh, I see you finally said it." Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders.
Too early to tell.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Doug. I thought you were saying contender, pretend. I said too early to tell.
But I actually like what I see, though. I'm just throwing it out
too.
I like what I see. And one thing that I did like following Dan Quinn's hire of him being a Commander's head coach, he said he learned from that 28-3 experience. Because honestly, AJ and I have both said this. If Mike McCarthy got fired, Dan Quinn was going to be the head coach. And if Dan Quinn wasn't going to be the head coach, Dallas was going to burn down. Like, we both said that because, again, the love that they have for Dan Quinn out here. And I do think it's too early to tell, but I won't be surprised if they make a wild card run because their team, I'm not going to say it was a quarterback away, but they built correctly through the draft and they got the right veteran pieces, which Dan Morgan for the Carolina Panthers tried to do as well. But I do agree with you. It's too early to tell as well. So with that, that's my too early to tell team. CJ or AJ, whichever way y'all want to go, give me a too early to tell team that you think can possibly be a contender, or they're like they're like a weight. We just don't know. They're just break even.
The Saints. The Saints.
Okay.
Because everybody. You can go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say the Steelers. They look good now, but mind you, I'm not a the Steelers is not a team that is, I pride myself on talking junk about anything. I don't have no issue with the Steelers. So, I do hope they can keep it up. But, is their style of football, going to work every week on every team?
Yeah. Do you think Justin Fields found a new home?
Man, if he goes out and continues this and gets better as the season goes on, I think Pittsburgh might sign him long term. But like I always say, anything is possible.
As a Steelers fan, I'll say this.
Whoa,
Yeah.
pause.
I thought you were,
No,
and I
he
made
is.
sure I treaded lightly when I
he
said that,
is.
AJ.
But hold on, CJ, you want to know there's something funny? I
What's
knew
that?
this from day one when I met AJ, and I'm surprised he literally just said this because he does not let people know who's his team, but you can tell between the lines. Go ahead, AJ. I cannot believe you just admitted that. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna say this. Right now, it's working. I am concerned moving long term. For one, we depend on a lot of rookies on that O-line to keep this constant performance. The O-line has been good. Justin Fields looks like a different quarterback with the Steelers. Don't have a number 2 wide receiver. The number 2 target is a tight end in Firemute, and so far he's been off and on. You take Pickens away, then depending on the speed of Justin Fields. And Arthur Smith is the OC. Right now it works because the defense is getting to the quarterback. TJ is getting to the quarterback, one of the best defensive players in the league.
Yep.
The problem I have, what happens when you face a team like the Chiefs or you face a team like the Bills? They'll try to run the football on you, and they can pass as well. So far, teams have been able to pass because the offensive lines haven't been good. Week 1, win against the Falcons. I'll say that's a tough team to face in week 1, but Kirk Cousins is slow. The second team was the Broncos. Doug know how I feel about Sean Payton. Sean Payton should have been left in the 90s with that system. Get that system out of here. He about to kill Bo Nix. In week 3, they went against Herbert and the Chargers, one of the best defenses in the league. Justin Fields played good, but Herbert went out, and their top 2 tackles went out as well. So that's one of the things you have to look at. So far, I'll say that they do look good. I'll say it's about week 7 to week 8. But you sure?
That's a good one, Roadmaster.
Yeah, hey, that you ain't. And look, hey, trust me, you ain't got to apologize for that, though. That was a good one.
That's
hey,
a real
big ups
good
to you.
All right, so AJ, do you want to take you guys as a middle of the pack team, or you want to talk about another middle of the pack team for yourself?
I'll take us. I'll take Steelers. I'll go Steelers.
Okay. All right.
I'm ready to talk about Carolina too.
No, okay. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about it, and then I'll pull up week 4 schedule. All right. Everybody, I already know everybody's probably here ready to, I've been on everybody's platform. Some people be saying I'm taking over people's platform. Me and CJ didn't talk about that lab. So hey, hey, I get invited and I go where I'm welcomed at. But like I said, I'm back. We definitely gonna keep this segment going every Thursday. Also, we're gonna do some pre-recorded videos. But for the Panthers right now, I had to pull back. That's the reason why you guys haven't seen What's Up, Doug go live. I told AJ and CJ this. AJ was like, Doug, they waiting for you to do a Panthers tape. Going to that game, week 1, hurt me so bad because I was expecting a different result. Then what Bryce did week 2, then getting benched, I wasn't hiding anywhere. You saw me, but I just didn't have the strength and just the will to do it. But I said, I got to get over it. We got to win. But it was time to come back, even if we did lose against the Raiders. I think right now, I haven't seen this much excitement in Panther Nation since we brought Cam back and he played in that Arizona game. Not saying Andy Dalton is Cam. He's going to do X, Y, and Z. Do I believe in Andy Dalton? I told AJ this. Andy Dalton has been a shelf quarterback that should have been playing when he played for Dallas. And he played for the Bears, but they let him go and they had him sitting back as a bridge or a backup quarterback. Andy Dalton still has juice in that arm. Then you look at when you have a run game where our coach said Chuba Hubbard, it looks good. Chuba Hubbard had his first 100-yard game underneath Dave Canales. Deontay Johnson had his career high in yards caught. Then you look at the defense that is basically a Band-Aid on right now, bend but did not break. So I'm excited, but like the analogy that I use is I'm not drinking all the Kool-Aid. I haven't even had a full glass. I literally had a glass and like, oh, this is good. And I said, hold on, let me cut it and go halfway. And I put some water in it and then chug that right down. But right now, as a Panther fan, I'm very optimistic. I am not going to be over optimistic, but I do see a pathway with these next couple of games that Carolina can really make some noise, but I do think it's game by game. Go ahead, fellas.
Hey, so, and real quick, don't ever let me hear you say you cutting Kool-Aid with water, man. Just drink it.
Hey,
don't ever let me hear you say that again.
I'm gonna say it on Mondays again, and then y'all can check CJ and Tony. Tony's not here. Tony probably sleep, but y'all can check CJ and Tony out over at Two Fans in the Stands. That's my, this my big brother. Now we didn't upgrade the name. That's my big brother, little bro. I'm here. And for you guys that don't know about my guy AJ, me and my guy AJ met up last year at All Pro Sports Talk. He does great videos all over. He doesn't just talk about the Steelers. He talks about Carolina as well, man. Did a great video, which I be teasing out. I'm like, hey, you cutting the line kind of close because I'm about to say something. But again, I appreciate these fellas. Like I said, we're gonna bring you guys this new tape, this new segment called that Blitz Talk, man. And again, I appreciate everybody pulling up. But go ahead, CJ, what you got to say about the Panthers? Or AJ, whichever one y'all want to go. Whichever person want to go.
CJ, you can go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say this too. I want to let everybody know the real reason why Doug didn't put out any content. Okay. I have deemed myself as Doug's like almost emotional manager. Doug calls me, when stuff happens, I go at it like a smooth 45, 50. Sometimes my wife would be like, you might be good if you hit about 35. Okay. Doug goes out of the gate at 135, smoking hot, ready to fight. Knuck if you buck, light them up, everything. Okay. So I have been steadily working with Doug for the past 2 to 3 weeks to try to get his emotions, in balance so he can get back out here and give this great content to all you people. Okay, so at the end of the day, everybody, you're welcome. All right, I did this for everybody. I did this for free out of the kindness of my heart and for my little brother Doug. Okay, now, hold on, Doug. What was the question about the Panthers?
The state of Carolina Panthers. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I hate the way that it went down. Because it's crazy, the fact that Andy Dalton came in there and it was just like an instant turnaround. I thought we were going to be more competitive. I did not think we were going to, start the game like that and just lead the entire game. And, the defense, I would give that secondary a lot of credit. Because then we got a few sacks on Gardner Minshew, but like I said earlier in the week, most of them look like coverage sacks. Because it took a minute for our defensive lineman to get to him. So that was good coverage in the secondary, good coverage in the secondary. But I just hope that this momentum can continue. I don't know what Andy Dalton's motivation is. We play all of his ex teams this year. We play the Saints twice. We played the Bengals this week. We also play the Bears and the Cowboys. You know what I mean? So if there shouldn't be any lack of motivation for Andy Dalton. And, and I think this could be a good and a bad thing also, because if he does continue this season, continue playing, I think the rumblings around Carolina is we're going to sit Bryce this year and we're going to try this again next year. What if Andy Dalton doesn't want to be a part of that next year? You know what I mean? What if he goes out here and does good? Today's price is not always, the price in the future. And then somebody else comes along who's struggling, needs a quarterback, and like, hey, you're going to be our number one from day one, and we're going to fill in the blanks behind you. But, come join us, and this is what we got. So I like where we're at right now, but, I do hope behind the scenes, and I know this is early, it's only week 4, but I do hope that they are planning for the future. I mean, like, seriously playing it, because it's kind of like one of those things in a Marvel movie where you get to a point in time and your action right here can split the timeline in several different directions. I think that's where the Panthers are heading right now.
Yeah.
Like I said at the beginning of the video, man, Andy Dalton for president, ride to the wheels fall off. I mean,
Facts.
for me, when you look at this division, and Doug, no, I've been clowned upon because what I said about Bryce, and I said, man, it ain't looking too good. He got a lot of stuff going wrong. He really should have been benched after the first game, but they wanted to give him time. If they somehow go out there and they beat the Bengals and they're 2-2, that puts them in contention to go out there and possibly win this division. Not saying that they will, but when you look at this division, a lot of teams got issues. Doug know how I feel about Derek Carr. Derek Carr can only take you so far. Derek Carr is, in my opinion, not a good quarterback anymore.
He's seeing ghosts right now. He's seeing a lot of ghosts right now.
Yeah, you got Kirk Cousins and the Falcons. They're up and down. They're trying to figure stuff out, but it's still, it's murky with them. And the Buccaneers, the defense is hurt. So right now it's the best time for the Panthers to go out there and try to seize this opportunity and beat those teams, especially with the Buccaneers dealing with defensive injuries. They can try the Bryce Young experience next year, but like with me and CJ and you too, Doug, like we said earlier in the live, Bryce shouldn't have played last year. I understand that we're one quarterback away, not with a rookie. You're not. We're starting to realize that certain rookies like a CJ or a Jaden Daniels, sure, but not everyone is them day one. Bryce does have limitations, but I thought that him switching from one system to another one, going from Frank Reich and that terrible debacle to coming over to this situation, it was just too much on the young quarterback. Andy Dalton's been in the league for what, 14 years?
Something
13,
like that.
13, 14. Like he's seen it all. So blitzes aren't going to go out there and fool him. Certain coverages he's seen so many times. He knows where to go with the football. And it's going to sound messed up. The Panthers are ready to win now. They're not trying to develop a quarterback because you have Deontay Johnson. He's on a 1-year deal. Adam Thielen, 1-year deal, but he's older. He wants to win now. Austin Corbett, he's older. He wants to win now. The same with Damian Lewis and also Robert Hunt. So putting Andy Dalton out there, even if he doesn't score over 30 points a game, which I don't expect him to, it still gives you a better chance long term for everything to gel. Bryce gets to sit. You don't cut him. You don't trade him. Let him learn the system more. Let him get more comfortable. See what Andy Dalton does to try to take his game from that. Then it also gives those veterans, you get to see what you have with them. Because if Andy Dalton went out there and you had Deontay Johnson dropping the football and guys can get open, now you know what you have. But to see what they did against the Raiders, that's a tough defense still with Crosby and Wilkins. And Chuba Hubbard had over 100 yards on him. So that's definitely giving you good signs moving forward. And the offensive line looked better as well underneath Andy Dalton.
So let me ask y'all this, because I need to know this point. Did Tua start his rookie year?
No, not all games.
I didn't think he did. Okay.
No.
Hey, but Doug, could you imagine though, if for some reason we didn't bring Andy Dalton back for another year and it was Bryce and whoever was the backup, and we started off like this again next year? You know what I said the other night? Let me say, they might riot down, whatever renovations they start doing to the stadium, the practice field, they're going to go down there and tear all that down.
Yeah.
Let me see. Sir.
That was 336.
You know what? And
so was Josh Rosen.
Yeah, true.
So
they said he was NFL ready too, and look how that turned out.
I think that first throw of the season was just instant PTSD for Bryce. I mean, it was
bad.
And like I said, I went to damn near every training camp practice except for like 3 of them. And Bryce, and I know it's practice, okay? I know it's practice. But in order for you to get right in the game, you have to do well in practice. Bryce did well in practice, and like I said, when it was after that first throw, whatever, whatever ghost he was seeing, or
it was the ghost that he was seeing, because you got to remember, you getting hit 62 times. People got to understand that takes a toll on your mental. His mental was not where he needed to be. That was the issue.
Kudos to Dave Canales though, because my thing is, I think he saw very quickly he was about to lose that locker room. I mean, like completely lose it. You saw Adam Thielen frustrated going off the sideline. and he did what needed to be done.
I told you what I saw when I was at the game. You had Clowney
Mhm.
looking at him like it's almost like the size difference. Like if Clowney could punch him without being punished, Clowney really want to knock his head off. It's like, dude, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
So
can't blame him though.
So with week 4 going on right now, let's go ahead and pull this slate up. We got Thursday night already with the Cowboys and Giants. I'll lead this up for about 30 seconds. We at least will give 2 games apiece. So that'd be 6 games in total that we think would be highlights of this week. And then tell me when you guys are ready. If you guys got the same game, you got the same game. You can give your take on it.
So we're saying who gonna win?
No, just give me 2 games that you see on week 4 slate that you want to talk about. Games like game of the week for you. Give me 2 games of the week that you want to discuss and talk about.
Minnesota and Green Bay.
Damn, you took one of mine. Okay, but we'll compare. CJ, you got one.
Baltimore and Buffalo.
That's another one. So I'm good. And then y'all give one more piece that we'll discuss.
Y'all want to do Seahawks and Lions or another one?
We can do Seahawks and Lions because Seahawks are 3-0 and the Lions are 2-1, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then CJ, choose one more.
Broncos and Jets.
Okay. And then we will talk about Carolina's game as well. Okay. Hey, yes. Uncle Red, I'm glad you guys are safe there, man. Again, I got family in Atlanta. I've been texting left and right. Again, y'all be safe in Georgia. I just know it got pushed to a category 4. That is not nothing to play with. So y'all be safe out there, man. I definitely be checking on you later on the live, man. Again, anybody that's family that's in the path, I'm praying for safe haven and nothing. Everything can be replaced, but a life can't. So get the safety if you have to. So let's go in Minnesota and Green Bay. You want to start off, AJ, or you want me to pop it off?
You can pop this one off.
Will Jordan Love play? That's everybody's thought play. Will Jordan Love play? I'll say this out the gate. If Jordan Love does not play, Minnesota Vikings are going to win this game automatically. Automatically. That Vikings defense is the truth. I'm not going to take a talking point at age I know he's going to bring up, but that defense is legit. But this is where I personally think the NFC North is the most competitive division now. You have 3 teams. Let me see. Who's their 4th team?
Bears, I think.
Well, the Bears. So 3 out of the 4 teams are competitive. And can really make playoff pushes. Like I said, if Jordan Love never got out, they still won the games, but they'll look a little bit different. This is where a lot of people want to see Sam Darnold do this against a veteran-led team. The Houston Texans, what they did last week in Minnesota, that's a very young team led by a young quarterback. I actually like this as one of the games of the week. If I had to choose a winner right now, I will choose Minnesota. But I think if Jordan Love does play, I am going to go with Jordan Love. I have been an advocate for Jordan Love, and I think the Green Bay Packers will win that game. Go ahead, AJ.
It does come down to Jordan Love, but the last time I saw Jordan Love, he didn't look particularly good against the Eagles. Even though it was on bad turf in Brazil, I think they should start Malik Willis and start Jordan Love next week. Because this defense, Flores is going to blitz the hell out of whoever the quarterback is.
Yep.
Whether it's Jordan Love or Malik. And if that knee is not 100%, you don't want to risk it this early in the season and re-aggravate anything. And Malik has played very good the last 2 games, especially with the receivers that they have. They got Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, and Jaden Reed. Yeah, Jaden Reed. They got 3 receivers. So they don't even really have a true number 1. But at the same time, they have 3 receivers that can go out there and they can get you any which way. And the run game has been good as well. And the thing is, you're right about Sam Darnold. Can he continue to do this? I don't know if Jordan Addison is going to be able to play. He missed the last 2 games dealing with an ankle injury. I know for sure TJ Hawkinson's not going to play, but you got to pay attention to that too, because Justin Jefferson against Jair Alexander, that's going to be a fun matchup. You put Jordan Addison out there, that things get interesting with the defenses. But I think whoever defense plays the least in this game, has the least impact, that's who's going to be the one that doesn't walk out with the win.
All right, I'm gonna throw this out there. You think Aaron Jones is gonna have a revenge game? Yes or no?
Yeah.
You said yeah?
Yeah, I say yes.
Okay. CJ, what you think? You think Aaron Jones is gonna have a revenge game against his former team in the Packers?
I kind of hope he does.
Okay.
I kind of hope. I don't want to say yes or no, but I hope he does.
Okay.
I say this.
What'd you say, AJ?
Look at how you do the Cowboys when he plays them.
Yeah. Hey, I was loving it down here. Man, you were tested. I was loving it. I was loving it. All right, CJ, go ahead and talk about one of your games of the week.
Oh, I had Buffalo and
the Ravens.
Yeah, Buffalo and Ravens. Now, my thing is, okay, can the Bills keep it up, against the Ravens? Okay, can they keep up this momentum that they have? As you can see, Josh Allen is out there just throwing the ball. What's the man name? The running back,
James Cook.
James Cook. James Cook is out there balling, doing his thing. I keep forgetting, man. Keon Coleman. He got his first touchdown last week. Now you see the Ravens, they kind of got back on track against the Cowboys, but can they keep that success up? Can they go out there, and can the Bills defense, can they put a stop to a King Henry? I think that's going to be an interesting matchup, is the Bills defense versus the Ravens rush attack. So I think that'll be a good game as well. But yeah, it just for me is, who's gonna, are the Bills for real, and can the Ravens, get their season back on track to continue to get it back on track?
You got an early winner?
I'm gonna say the Ravens to pull this out. I think the Ravens are gonna win.
Okay. It's in Baltimore. And I want to say, I think it's Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
That Bills defense, people are sleeping on. That Bills defense is real. I'm gonna take home field, 3-point game, Baltimore. But I won't be surprised if Buffalo goes in there and steals the win.
Yeah, this is the hardest one to pick of the week. I want to say Buffalo, but I'm gonna take Baltimore.
Okay.
I'll take Baltimore.
I'll pick Baltimore. That means Buffalo gonna win.
Yep.
What was the other one that you showed? Did you do was it Seattle and Detroit?
Nah, CJ did another one before me. I think
I
he
got
said
the Jets and the Broncos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Jets and Broncos. I already know how AJ feeling about the
Broncos. I want to see if what we saw out of Bo Nix and the Broncos last week was a real deal, or was it just kind of a fluke? Did they go out there, all the stars aligned, and it was just their night? What I always say, Doug, when you on your fantasy team, when your kicker gets you 26 points, it's your day. If you're playing somebody, that does that, just hang it up. If you got your kicker, you good. So I want to see if Sean Payton and Bo Nix and them can do that against this Jets defense. And I want to see if the Jets can hopefully I want to see Aaron Rodgers stay healthy, because I'm not even gonna lie. Every time I see him, get out of the pocket and try to do a little bit of a run, I sit in my chair and I kind of go,
yeah, I don't. You don't
know what I
mean? To pop again.
Yeah, it's just, and I don't get that way with a lot of players, but like the way he got hurt last year. Every time he takes off a little bit of run, I'm just like, but yeah, I think that would be an interesting matchup, more so for the Broncos, than for the Jets. The Broncos don't come out there in the A game. I think the Jets just gonna, it won't be a close game.
I will say this. This is the only point I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna pass it to AJ. Jets defense is gonna feast on a rookie quarterback. Robert Saleh is looking at the chops to do exotic blitzes, delayed blitzes, and see how he goes against pressure. And like AJ said, Sean Payton is gonna put Bo Nix in the dirt with the running style and the play style that he wants him to run that offense. But I do think Robert Saleh is going to be very aggressive. And we've seen it when he did it last year with some of these rookie quarterbacks. He's very aggressive. He wants to see can they beat his aggressive style defense.
Like Doug just said, as a resident Sean Payton hater, myself, I think he about to be outcoached yet again. Last week was a fluke against a Buccaneers team that was beat up on the defensive side. They had a lot of second and third strings out there. I think the offensive line for the Broncos has been good up to this point. Last week they did play well. I'm with Doug. They about to blitz this kid so bad. And I'm about to feel bad for Bo Nix because he really only has one receiver to throw the ball to, and that's Cortland Sutton. And they're going to put Sauce Gardner on him. They may even double team him. It's nowhere else for him to go to football. And they got one of the worst run games in the NFL. Yep. And Bo Nix has been the leading rusher in every single game this year. So, yeah, so it's not going to be a good sight. So, I'm taking.
I already know who you picking, AJ.
Taking New York.
I got Jets. So you got CJ.
I'm gonna take the Jets too.
Okay, so a gentleman sweep. All right, AJ, you up for Monday Night Football?
So but that's Seattle and the Lions.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Detroit bounced back good last week against the Cardinals. I mean, the play calling with Ben Johnson, like you said, he has a long ways to go still if he wants to be a head coach in the NFL. From what I saw a week ago when they went against the Bucs, Jared Goff had like 50 pass attempts. That's not going to win games. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Seahawks defense is legit or not with their brand new head coach. Defense looked good so far. He went out there, he outcoached Sean Payton when they went against the Broncos. They just beat the Dolphins. They went against a second-string quarterback. So it's going to be an interesting matchup because Jared Goff is a good quarterback. Then you have, on the opposite side for Seattle, Geno Smith and those weapons. I'm just more in tune to see what the defense is going to look like for both teams because the Lions got a young defense, and Seattle's defense is still young. They're still learning the system. This could be a shootout type of game.
I think for me, I want to see Ben Johnson going against the Seattle Seahawks head coach because you have a coach that nobody thought would get a job. They got a job, and you got a coach that's really head coach ready. He just doesn't want to test the waters and let the reins go in Detroit. So if you ask me, I think right now the Lions offense has a beat on Seattle's defense. I don't know why I have that gut feeling, but I definitely think that is the case.
That's a good observation. That kind of is true, to be real with you.
What you got, CJ?
I kind of agree with all y'all points. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I do want to see if Seattle is going to kind of open it up a bit with DK and Geno but yeah, I don't think I have anything really more than what y'all said to add to that one. But if we're gonna go predictions, I think Seattle might get them.
Ooh, that's tough. I will say this, and I have him on my fantasy squad. If Kenneth Walker plays the type of physical run style that he has, I do think the Seahawks can surprise the Detroit Lions. But as of right now, I do think that duo in the backfield with Montgomery and Gibbs, and you have the up-and-coming wide receiver in Jameson Williams and Amir St. Brown. I do think Amon St. Brown.
Who?
Amon, isn't it Amon St. Brown?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I just called him
I'm
St.
sorry,
Brown.
Doug.
No,
I'm sorry,
I thought I messed it up the first time. That's what I was like. I must have said his name wrong. Yo,
I'm sorry, Doug.
Look,
My bad.
no, I know. I already know. Look, he got too many names for me to say. That's the problem. And I didn't write any notes. I just got him on my fantasy squad, and I need him to go off. But no, seriously.
Doug, I drafted Kenneth Walker and Christian McCaffrey on the same squad, and they both ain't played. Oh goodness. I'm down to Samaj P. Ryan and somebody else.
Yeah, I'm praying.
Ooh.
That's a prayer.
Yeah.
But honestly, I
Mhm.
honestly do think the Detroit Lions will win this game. Dan Campbell has having some questionable type of coaching things going on right now. But that playing in Detroit has a great home field advantage right now. So I'll take Detroit.
Seattle beat them last year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go Seattle again.
Okay.
Because
all right, I'm gonna throw it out there because it's about to be kickoff. So like I told the guys, we're gonna wait till the first drive-ins and we out of here. So Carolina versus the Bengals. CJ, I understand you got a show tomorrow. If you don't want to say too much, hey,
I like to talk. I say it now. I say it again tomorrow.
Okay. So on Sunday, back at the bank, with Carolina coming off an impressive upset victory against the Las Vegas Raiders, with the Bengals possibly looking at a possible 0-4, but are currently at 0-3. How do you guys feel about the game, and who do you see winning?
Go ahead, AJ.
I think it's a shootout like how it was on Monday night. So the game's in Carolina, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My heart said Carolina. My head says no way that the Bengals are going to be 0-4. So I think Cincinnati wins by 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And I agree with you 100%, AJ. I feel the same way, but I'm gonna go with my heart. I'm gonna say Carolina, 28-23.
Okay, you
That's
ain't
a good score.
you ain't take the score. I was gonna say Carolina 27-20 touchdown,
Ooh.
and the defense is gonna be on the field to win the game. That's the reason why I think it's 27-20.
Okay.
Do you think Panthers defense can hold up though?
I think we might be able to hold up enough. I'm not that particularly concerned with the Bengals run game, and I hope I'm not jinxing it. I kind of felt the same way about Zamir White and the Raiders, and we did okay. You know, Zach Moss and even my man, what's his name, Brown. I can't think. Chase Brown.
Chase Brown.
You know, I'm hoping they can keep them in check. Now, I think one thing that we've gone up against before, you got Devontae Adams. You know, we've had teams with, you know, a good receiver. Now we're going up, we got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So, you know, that cornerback 2 spot, Mike Jackson's, he's been looking good. So hopefully he can hold up again this week too.
They got
are y'all watching the game?
Yeah, they just stopped the run on second down.
No, but did you see how Brian Burns got pushed by Jack Ferguson at that tight end position?
Oh yeah, man, it's Burns, man.
But no, it's just crazy. Ooh, he almost got a sack right there while I'm talking.
Yeah, but
that's a 3 and out. That's a 3 and out right there by the Cowboys, man.
Now it's another receiver on the Bengals too.
That is a 3 and out.
His last name starts with a Z, right?
Yeah, Ishivash.
Gotcha. Oh, my bad. I didn't see.
Ooh, Banks got real physical with CD right there.
CJ, I ain't gonna lie to you. We got a bunch of weird names in the league. I like it though.
It's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, we got a lot of representation.
Yeah.
But all right, chatting fellas, this is our first episode of the new segment called Blitz Talk. We will be live next Thursday, same time, same place. Tell your friend, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your cousin where to find us at. I appreciate my big brother / big cousin, CJ, pulling up with us over there at 2 Fans in the Stands. I appreciate my guy. Right around the corner, AJ pulling up. Like as he said, Doug, it's time for us to go back. We here. They like the new name. We rebranded it from NFL Taste. Now it's called That Blitz Talk. So, again, we appreciate everybody pulling up. Hope everybody enjoyed the content. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Any last words, fellas?
Go Panthers.
Use code What's Up Doug, say $20 off your first purchase.
Hey, Dave, what he's talking about is on SeatGeek. Again, if you're trying to go to the game, that's where you go and go into the description bar. and you'll see the code at the very bottom that sends you right to the website at SeatGeek. So, fellas, I appreciate it. As CJ always says, he has 3 things. We always say here, what's up, dog? What's up, Doug? Stay safe, stay blessed. See you next time. Peace.